Hi, I'm Miss Gall, and this is the phases of the moon. So we can only see the whole moon about once a month, more specifically 29.5 days. So there's not a the lunar cycle, it does not match up with a month, but it's very, very close. There are 8 lunar phases of the moon. There's new moon, full moon, waxing crescent, waning gibbous, first quarter, third quarter, waxing gibbous, and waning crescent. Here's a picture. You can see that no matter where you are, if you go directly across it, it's flipped. So full moon and new moon, you can see the full moon, and then you can't see any of it. Waxing crescent and waxing gibbous, you can see that if you were to match them up, they would connect perfectly. Same with waning gibbous and waxing crescent. Third quarter and first quarter, you can see directly half of the moon. And if you know enough, then you can tell which part of the lunar phases you're in because of which side is showing. A full moon is able to be seen once a month. The sun is casting all of its light on the moon, allowing us to see it from Earth. So because of the placement of the sun and the moon, we are able to see the full moon emitting all of its light. The new moon is when the light is completely on the backside of the moon. So we can only see the shadowed side from Earth. In the picture, you can see that the sun is casting all of its light, and because of where we are on the dark side of the moon. First and third quarter are very interesting because you can only see half of the moon. So the light is coming in from a side angle. These phases can be easily recognized because you can see perfectly half. So depending on which phase you're in, it's first quarter or third quarter. Waxing and waning moons can be a little difficult. When we see more of the moon leading to a full moon, it's called a waxing moon. When we see the moon going from a full moon to a new moon, it's called waning. So you can see at the bottom, it says new moon, and then you see a little bit more. So it's waxing crescent, then there's first quarter, then there's waxing gibbous, and then a full moon. And then it reverses. So it's waning gibbous. You can see a little bit less. Third quarter, you can see perfectly half, and then waning crescent, you can see even less, and then it goes right back to new moon. Why are there different phases? The phases are caused by the placement of sunlight in relation to the Earth. The moon is always full, but because of where the moon is in its orbit, the sunlight is coming from a different angle. So even though we see the dark side of the moon, the other side of the Earth, or the other side of the moon, is completely lit up. So there's always 50% of the moon that has light on it, but it just depends on where we are and where the moon is. That shows us how much of the moon is showing or lit up. You can see in this video that because of the orbit and our orbit, we see less and less of the moon. In the view from Earth, you can see that on the right side, and then it shows less. Now we're at a new moon, and then it reverses. So you can tell that it's orbiting in this video a lot because you can see that it's slowly showing more and more of the moon in relation to the Earth. Here is a project that we could do in our class that shows the phases of the moon. You can see that there's a light coming from one side, and because of the spin that we're doing, you can see how we see the moon from Earth. So you can see that we see the full thing when the sun is behind us, but when we're in front of the sun, you cannot see the moon. Eclipses. So a lunar eclipse is when the Earth is directly between the sun and the moon. So there's none of the sun's rays that hit the moon. A lunar eclipse can be seen from anywhere on the dark side of the Earth. So if you're on this side of the Earth, you will not be able to see it. But if you are on the side facing away from the sun, then you can see it very well. A solar eclipse is when the moon blocks the sun's rays from hitting the Earth. A solar eclipse can be seen from certain places on Earth, as the moon only blocks the sun for a small area. Solar eclipses happen during the new phase moon. I remember a few years back that it happened, and it was for a very short amount of time. You had to go outside. You had to wear these cool little sunglasses that protected your eyes from the sun's rays, because you do not want to look directly at a solar eclipse, but it is very cool to see. In this picture, you can see that it completely blocks out the moon, and you can just see the light coming in from behind it. And thank you. There will be a short little check for understanding to see what you learned, and thank you.